Yes.
Can I suggest we wait 2 more minutes?
Sure, because like we got the team for the evaluation that we need, so maybe this can be a bit more informal chat. Because yeah, like since the beginning of June that I got, no, actually, when did I get included in the WhatsApp group, that I have been bombarded by different messages from from different area directors and also other presidents of other clubs and all that. And I must say that me personally, I'm very happy that we have such a very active area director Xiao for our F2 area, and so she suggested to come and join us for this meeting. But maybe I can pass the floor for her just to introduce herself a little bit and tell us a little bit more also about, this is also your new role as the area director, no?
Yes, so hi everyone. I didn't want to interrupt your chat. It was so nice. So thank you for having me today. I'm glad that it's so easy to join you virtually, because physically I understand it's much more difficult. I was also curious about your club because I understand you are a very established club. I am a member of Vienna Toastmasters 551. I started actually at Blue Danube Leaders, and via Pierre, I actually have met Nicole in person, I think a couple times, but it's been a long time. So she's one face I recognize. Maria Teresa, I believe we've seen each other virtually in some Zoom meetings, right? Now I can actually put a face to it.
When you were competing, you did a great job, by the way, in one of our
competitions. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I didn't think I would know anyone. Well, I have met Silla also virtually through the contest last year. No, last term, sorry, not last year, this year. So it's great to be here. My new role starting July 1st is area director for this area, F2. So that's you, Blue Danube Leaders, and also the Rhetoric Club, the German club in Vienna. Accenture used to be in this area. As far as I know, they are dormant right now. And we are offering a club officer training also in a couple of weeks. And I'm looking forward to seeing Silla and Maria Teresa there. And we want to get the clubs in Vienna a bit more kind of, into a community, because I feel like people actually don't know each other very well across clubs. So Dania Bauer, who is the area director for F1, and myself, we're looking to organize some get-togethers so people can socialize, because I think everybody also benefits from not just being in his or her own club, but from the greater Toastmasters network. So thank you for having me. I won't keep you from running a meeting. Looking forward. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Xiao. And I guess then we might need to fly in Gabriella, because now she's joining us from Geneva. So that would be another opportunity, for her to come and visit Vienna. And I would also just want to give the floor to other guests who might want to, introduce themselves and also tell us a little bit more, how do you know the club, before I talk about the business section. So I think you are actually joining us again, right, Aru? What I understood from Ines is like you were with us before, but then you were absent for some time and then you are now back, or like?
Yes, exactly. It's like that.
But so you're a member of the club already, or you're a guest?
Yes, I think. Yes, I will be soon. I think so.
Okay, cool. So sorry, I didn't meet you before. So do you mind telling me a bit, or some of us who have not met you before, how did you know about the VIC Toastmaster Club, and what do you like to get from the meetings?
So I'm originally from Pakistan, and I have been working in the agency as a laboratory technician for almost 3 years now. I was a consultant before, and I am joining this club to enhance my skills relating to communication and just to enhance my personality overall. And I came to know about this from a former, I think, member, Tomo Furusawa, and she was the one who introduced me. So up till now, I'm very happy, and I think I'm making progress.
Great.
Cool. Yes, thank you so much. And nice to see you again coming back. And I think this is perfect timing because now we also got Elmar and Julia also joining for us. So we pretty much like have, all the road takers for the day. So before I hand the floor to Maria Teresa, who is the Toastmaster of the day, just one bit of an important piece of business that I wanted to share with everyone is actually the upcoming meetings. So if you are like me, who really likes to join the competition, then there is the Toastmaster International semi-finals. So for the semi-finals competition, it will take place on the 17th to 20th of August. And we can join it either in person to the US or like online. Online, I think they also got two packages where one package is for free and another one which give you a little bit more than costs around, I think like $50 or so. So I'll just post a link for the details in case you're interested to check it out. Me, myself, I would join the contest online just to experience it a bit more, how does it feel not to be able to get into the next stage? But I'm sure like all these, they are really great speakers. And this year they have a very interesting theme as well. The theme is called We Are All Storytellers. So I guess if you want to hear more stories, then that's the opportunity where we can really hear from the experts. And I will just post the link in the chat. And then now I would give the floor to our Toastmaster of the day, Maria Teresa.
So thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer and President Silla. It's a great pleasure to be here today. There are a couple of people who are still trying to get in. I'm getting a flurry of email messages with people having trouble with the meeting password, but I think all of our major players are basically here today. It's always fun to have a Toastmaster meeting because you never know what you're going to get. And today, unfortunately, we have no prepared speeches. And prepared speeches are a major component of the Toastmaster meeting. So I personally feel like we're going to be losing something, but we'll make up for it with other things. We will have a table topic session because I see our table topics master has signed in, and we will have an evaluation section. So the first point of order for me is to give control back to Silla to introduce her team as the general evaluator. Toastmaster Silla.
Thank you very much, Maria Teresa. So the purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place during the meeting and those that did not take place as well. And so I would take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen and evaluate, each one according to the roles that they have been assigned. But of course, I'm not doing this alone, and I have a team, of a very competent Toastmasters to help me to do that. So first, I would give the floor to Julia, who is the grammarian of the day, to explain to us a little bit more of her role throughout the meeting. So Toastmaster Julia, please.
Thank you. Do you hear me? I hope, because I had problem to connect. And do you hear me? Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So good afternoon, everyone. Dear Toastmasters, dear fellows and guests, as grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to your language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or words. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is ephemeral. As famous fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld said, what fashion is ephemeral, dangerous, and unfair. The word ephemeral describes something as only lasting for a short time and often used in conjunction with things what are more abstract or conceptual in nature, like how long one feels a certain emotion. Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, defines the nature of external sources of happiness and pleasure as highly uncertain, precarious, ephemeral, and subject to chance. With the help of internet and social network, we are discovering many interesting information and new trends, but are constantly growing and changing. Fast information movements are holding our collective attention and less us to discover new tastes. However, few of these things last long. This ephemeral nature is the reason why popular trends manage to bring us together. We are all watching to see where it goes next. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian report, then called upon during the meeting, and also report on usage of the word of the day. So thank you so much. It was my first time. I hope it was correct.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Julia. You're not alone. So it's my first time to be the general evaluator as well. So, you know, it's always the first time. If you don't mind, can you also type the word of the day in the chat so that like everyone, you know, get it, and then we get reminded to use the word of the day. Second, I would like to give the floor to our timer, Rina, to explain a little bit of her role, just to make sure that, you know, how she can help us to make sure that we run the meeting on time.
Can you hear me?
Rina.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Since we do not have a prepared speech, I will check the timing of the table topics. That is means green light. Can you? This is green for 2 minutes. 2:30. This is yellow, and this is red sign for 3. This is my role, and at the end I will report the timing of the table topics.
Point of order, isn't table topics 1 minute, 1.5 and 2 minutes?
Well, really?
Yeah, 1 minute
Okay.
minimum, 2 minutes
okay.
is red, 2 minutes 30 is disqualified, and 1:30 is the orange, yellow.
Okay.
Unless we want to make it longer today because we don't have any speakers. I mean, just my comment.
Thanks, Lily, for the point of order. And also I can see the nodding of the head from Elmer. So, you know, she's the table topic master. So yeah, we need to make sure that we go with the assigned time. So the last one, which is actually always the role that I'm most scared of, is the R counter, whom I was very honored to be the queen of the R's and Ums last time, which I hope that this time I won't repeat myself. So I would give the floor now to Monica to explain her role. Oh God, sorry. I hope that you are not counting, you know, all those that I said it before that hasn't got included into your report as yet. So Toastmaster Monica, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of today. So my role today is to count the gap fillers like and repetitions and all the words that doesn't really fit in your speech or your what you are saying at the moment. Just for example, what I said, this would be my first gap filler. And usually when we are in a meeting, in an in-presence meeting, we charge 10 cents for each gap filler. So today we're not charging anything. And don't worry, Sheila, I am starting my counting as of now. Word back to you.
Thanks a lot. And thank you so much for taking up this, you know, important roles to make sure that different aspects of the meeting would get evaluated as well. So at the end of the meeting, I would give an overall evaluation of how each of us perform according to the role that we are assigned. So that explains also my role in this meeting. And now I'll give the floor back to you, Maria Teresa.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. You know, it is a day of firsts today, of many firsts. And as I mentioned, at least when I set out the invitation to our meeting today, it's time to get out of your comfort zone. You know, you have to start someplace. And I'm so pleased to see some people really taking my advice and coming forward. The first one is Toastmaster Alma. Toastmaster Alma has been one of the most constant and dedicated members of our club for quite some time, but she's never given a speech. But you also have other possibilities in Toastmasters, leadership roles, like leading the table topic session. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to Alma, who is going to be asking you those questions that you don't necessarily know the answers to. Toastmaster Alma, the floor is yours.
We cannot hear you, Alma.
You hear me now? Okay. Oh. It's in my earphones, that's why. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster Maria Teresa, and a special thanks to you and our president, Toastmaster Sila, because this really encouraged me to go for the table topics today, and thank you for this opportunity. But actually, I realized that it's better like this, because then I don't have to be afraid of answering impromptu question. Actually, being a topics Toastmaster is, I think it's very good, and people should go for this opportunity. So today I will not have any team, because recently we had a few teams that were running in the table topics. And kind of, I feel when you have a certain team, then you kind of can expect that what kind of questions you will be asked. So I prefer to have just some random questions and to see how all of you think on your feet. So I hope I will choose someone without the role. So let's see. Gabriela, my first question goes to you today, if that is fine.
Yes, of course.
We don't hear you. We don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I
No?
think I had the same problem. I don't hear you.
I hear you. I think the problem is on
Alma's. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Can someone say something? I don't hear.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
I don't hear you. Just one
You
moment.
can't hear any of us?
Gabriela said something, and then Dot said
I still
something.
don't hear anything.
Alma doesn't hear anything.
Something?
No, she's not listening. She's not hearing.
She can't hear anything. Yeah.
No, it's her.
Okay, now I see. Now I hear
Gabriela,
it.
try again, please.
Hi, Alma. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so my first question goes to you. If you could rename yourself, what name would you pick, and any particular reason why? If you could rename yourself, what would you pick, and any particular reason why?
Yes. Thank you very much for the question, Toastmaster Alma. That's a very interesting question. The first thing that comes to mind is I actually like my name, and I remember asking my mother why did she name me Gabriela, and she told me the story that she was reading this book, and the protagonist of the book was called Gabriela, so she liked the name, and that's why she gave me the name. But as a child, I remember I really liked the name Fernanda, and there is no particular reason why. I just really like the name, and I always kept telling my mom, why was I not called Fernanda? And at some point, my family was so nice that they would call me Fernanda, even though that was not my name. But so if I had to pick a name, yeah, I would probably go with Fernanda, even though there is no particular reason for it. I just, as a child, I really liked the name, but I really like my name as well. So I'm happy with Gabriela. And one thing also I've realized that as I moved, when I was in Mexico, I was very sure about the spelling of my name. But as I have moved to different countries, Then I realized that maybe I'm spelling my name incorrectly because I have seen it with 2 L's, with E. So I think it's a good name. It's an international name, and I
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Gabriela. I actually also like very much your name, and as you say, it's international. And I think oftentimes we meet people who would just don't like their name or they go by nicknames. So sometimes it's also good to have this opportunity. What would be the name if you would have to choose it? But Fernanda also, it can be your middle name. We did not see Rina again, so this is the challenge with the Zoom. So if we can somehow pin Rina or kind of have speaker and Rina aside, please let's organize that, because speakers then don't know about the timing. If this is possible, please, Lily or whoever is the Zoom master is Lily. So Lily, please, Toastmaster Lily, thank you. My next question would go to Benjamin. I think, Benjamin, you don't have any role today. So let's talk about the next question. What food does everyone love but you hate? So what food everyone loves? Most of people that you know, they love it, but you hate it. And any funny story regarding that?
I think one food that I really dislike just by the smell of it, that is very expensive and that a lot of people love, especially in my country, in France, it's truffles, white or black. And I'm kind of happy not to like it, to be honest, because it's very expensive. And usually people love to put it in pasta, for example, or with mozzarella and tomatoes. And recently I met this girl that is always going for the truffle option in every restaurant, which results usually in paying more at the cash out. And hopefully I'm not taking this option, but she's very fun. She's always going for it. And I don't understand why people are always going for it, because I dislike it, but that is the worst thing I could ever think of. Another one that is also expensive and that people love in my country too is oysters. But I think people tend to love it or not love it, but it's more shared. I feel a lot of people love truffles, while oysters is a bit more separated. People are not agreeing on this one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you, Benjamin. Since we still don't see Rina, can we have your, so you unmute yourself when it's a green, you just say green or something like this, and then you unmute yourself when it's a minute and a half, because we still didn't see you for showing the, but maybe it's also was not 1 minute. So I do not see, I don't know, maybe, does anyone else see Rina?
In small, yeah.
It's most likely because they're taking less time than the green light.
I think so. Yes, you are correct.
I can only spotlight or pin. And if I pin Rina, you won't see Ben. Okay. So I pinned her, and on my screen, she's on the top. Everybody has to pin her in their own gallery view.
You can spotlight multiple people. So you can spotlight the speaker and Rina.
Do you want to see Rina at the same time as Ben is talking?
Exactly. That would be great. Yeah.
And I'll spotlight them both. Okay. Okay.
Just excuse me for 1 second, please. You hear me now? Okay, good. So I am now in the spotlight, which I don't necessarily like, but okay. So let's see, my third question will go, thank you, Benjamin, once again. That was a great answer. I also have to agree, I'm not a fan of truffles. Not just because of the price, but because of the smell of it. My next question would go to Adot, if I can pronounce only your name like this. If you have to sing karaoke, what song would you pick? And any funny story why, or if you ever had experience in karaoke and what did you do? Because karaoke is usually very fun and it so leads to some funny stories usually.
Interestingly enough, Toastmasters doesn't offer us a chance to sing, but I won't make you suffer from having to listen to the painful sound of me trying to make music. Now, if I had to sing a song in karaoke, I really don't know. I like singing. The kind of singing I used to do was in a church, and I learned to sing as a choir, as a member of a choir in high school, where I was in a boarding school for 6 years. So I like singing. However, I'm not so sure I'd enjoy karaoke, because karaoke is singing in public. Talking in public is one thing. Singing in public is a totally other thing. So if I were to sing in public, I would probably sing a song that I'm familiar with. And that has to do with the church, which means I have very few places to practice that. And I can't give you a funny story about karaoke because I've never done it. But the one thing probably I might attempt is the Psalm 23, if any of you know it. It's about the Lord being your shepherd. And it's a very beloved song of Christianity because it's very optimistic. The music is very calm and the message is very uplifting. There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adolf. That's a very very good choice. I mean, it can be any choice, but of course, I also never did the karaoke, and I think that would not be preferred options for people who would listen to me. My fourth question would go to let me just quickly see to Ria. Ria, if you are here. Ria,
Yes,
if you
hello.
Hi, we can hear you. Yes.
Good.
Someone should put a spotlight on Ria, please. So Ria, if you were famous, what would you be famous for?
I can't.
Or maybe you are, already famous, but it's just imagine and just tell us what would be your wish to be famous for, or what would you be famous for?
Yeah.
It can be anything, sports or modeling or anything that you think that famous, or singing even, or whatever it is that you. So please tell us. Yes.
Thank you for the question. Hello, dear Toastmaster fellows. I would love to be famous as a big and great business lady, businesswoman. I would love to have an empire. I'd love to have my own jet. And not only that, I would like to have it parked in front of my house, yeah? So that I can go out and fly wherever I want to. Yeah? Plus, I see myself having an apartment where my car drives up and go inside, and then I do all my business and I sail all these stocks just through my phone, sailing, buying. So this is how I see myself. If I would be famous, I would love to have an empire of a business, maybe a trade with gold or diamonds, something like that. Yeah, actually, this is how I would not see myself famous with singing or acting. I'm very bad at these things. But more maybe in leading a big company. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much. Rina showed the green, so I'm sure you are relieved.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's a very good perspective, and I wish you that you become owner of a jet. Owner of a jet.
Thank you very much. You'll get a diamond then. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So my fifth question goes to Adriana, because I see Adriana, please confirm if you have some role, but I don't see that you have any.
No, I have no role. I can confirm.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So Adriana, what's the most outdated piece of technology that you are still use regularly? And if you have any funny story about it.
Right, that's a good question. I'm not sure I have anything that I use still regularly. I have an old iPod, I think it's called, the old Apple thing that started this music revolution, I think. It was a little bit like the, I think, CD player that you used to have, like little Panasonic or whatever, but then you could have all your music in one little piece of metal, and you put your earphones in, and it was an ephemeral feeling, and it took you somewhere else. I don't use it anymore, but I have it in my cupboard, and from time to time I have to say I look at it because of the design. It's gorgeous, and it was my first ever that kind of expensive technology gadget. It was my dream to have it, and hence I still cherish it. And I've recently seen that one of the first iPods was sold for like millions by Sotheby's. So maybe I'll just keep it a little bit longer. I'm not sure I'd be ready to say goodbye to it, but I really love it. And yeah, it's my favorite little old school piece of technology. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you. I must say, I also own my very first iPod as well. When you say now 1 million, I can think about it, but it was also a gift from my late father, so I don't think it's worth even 1 million. So it doesn't have a price for me. So yeah, I think the actually radio is the one that we still maybe use it if you listen to the radio in your car, or sometimes I listen in. I have the one like new integrated one with the Bluetooth and so on, and then it still can connect to the radio. But I think that very outdated piece, it's still kind of a current. I think nothing can replace a good old radio. Thank you, Adriana, once again. So my next question goes to Brigitte. So Brigitte, please. If you could choose your dreams, what would you prefer to dream about? So if you could choose your dreams, what would you prefer to dream about? You are on mute still.
So
yeah,
okay.
Now we hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Alma, for your question. So if I could choose my dreams, what I would prefer to dream about. Yeah, the one thing is I hardly remember any dreams. It really happens very seldom that I can remember what I was dreaming. But if I could choose, then for sure I would choose traveling to some beautiful places, to places I never have been, getting to know the rest of the world, because when I was young, I started counting how many years I most probably would live, how many countries would be worth to be traveled to. And I said, okay, I have to travel quite often during the year to reach my goal. But yeah, I stopped with this because it would not be possible to travel to all the places I would like to see in my life. And so maybe dreaming about all these countries which I still do not know and which I wanted to go might bring me a little bit nearer to my dream I had as a youngster. So yeah, I think this would be really a great topic for my dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Brigitte. And I think that is indeed, at least if we cannot travel, especially during pandemic when barely anyone traveled, if we cannot travel, at least to dream about and to see the places. Sometimes I would just go to Google Maps and switch to the pictures and then just list some nice beaches or something just to, as if I was there. Thank you, Brigitte.
Thank
And
you.
my last question, I was asked to prepare up to 7 questions. So my 7th question would go to Xiao Chen. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Xiao, if you could be any supernatural creature, what would you be and why? So if you would be any supernatural creature, what would you be and why?
Supernatural creature. Wow, that's
You
an
know, like
open
Batman.
question.
Yeah, it's an open question. You can even invent your own. So just explain to us why. What would you like to have from supernatural powers? Or would you like to fly? Would you like to save the humankind? Or any supernatural that you think you could do and why?
Wow. Well, Alma, thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, Table Topics Master of the day. I think I always loved fairy tales as a child. So Peter Pan is actually one of my favorites. I also read it to my son. And
yeah.
I don't know, I had this nickname when I was in college. That was Chinese Fairy. And I had a website called ChineseFairy.com. And I did some like flash graphics back then in the early days. I had an email address. I still have an email address that I don't really use that much anymore. That's called Chinese Fairy. So I think I would like to be a fairy. You know, it's fun to fly around and put pixie dust on everything like Tinkerbell. I don't think I would want necessarily all the characteristics that Tinkerbell has, because she's a bit of a, I don't know, she's easily irritable. she does find fault with Peter Pan as well. But I think I would be a happy version of Tinkerbell, perhaps, making the world a better place and yeah, just flying around all day to make people happier in whatever they do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Xiao Chen. This is really amazing. And we kind of discovered now this about you, that you actually have your also domain for this. And I think this is the
no, it's offline now. I don't
it's
spend so
offline.
much time these days.
Think about it. Think about it.
I just don't have the website.
I mean, think about it. You could promote it with the Toastmaster who have their kids, and then you can maybe translate them in English. Think about it. Can be some new business model for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is great. Thank you so much. And I think this is the main purpose also of the table topics, to kind of get to know each other better, to share some funny things from our lives, and to kind of connect on a different level than on only work level. So this concludes my table topics for today, but let me repeat and recap for you what was discussed. First question went to Gabriela, and I asked her if you could rename yourself, what name would you pick and why? She basically said that she's very happy with her name, but also Fernanda would be, for no reason, some alternative name, maybe a middle name in future, or for your daughter in future, you never know. Then the second question went to Benjamin, who we discovered now hates truffles. So in future, someone goes to lunch with Benjamin, avoid truffles. So question was, what food does everyone love but you hate? So majority people, he said, loves, especially in France, truffles, but he cannot eat them. Third question went to Adot. You have to sing karaoke. What song do you pick? Adot said that she'd never sing karaoke before, but we also found out about her that she did in a church choir, and that's actually she would choose one of the religious songs, and that brings peace and promotes Christianity and so on, which is also it was very interesting story to hear from Adat. Fourth question was if you were famous, what you would be famous for, and it went to Ria, and she basically said that she would be famous for, she would like to be famous as a businesswoman and to own a jet to be in her yard. That was very interesting story. Thank you, Ria. Fifth question was, what was the most outdated piece of tech you still use regularly? It went to Adriana, and Adriana mentioned her old and very first iPod from Apple. Then we have a sixth question. If you could choose your dreams, what you would prefer to dream about? It went to Brigitte, and she said that she would love to dream about the countries she didn't yet manage to visit. And in seventh question was our Xiao Chen, and if you could be any supernatural creature, what would you be? And as we heard, she would be a Tinkerbell, I think she said, and then just to spread the joy and peace and happiness among the people. So now please 1 minute to vote for the best table topics. And then later the ballot counter will announce. And this concludes my presentation for today. Handing back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Maria Therese. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alma. It's over. But
it's over.
Brilliant.
It was.
But
yeah.
it was brilliant. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, I wish I could ask. She would ask me a question. I thought your questions were so relatable and on one level so easy. But you're absolutely right. We find out so much about each other when we reveal things in table topics. Just a comment, you should be sending your votes to our ballot counter. So I suggest you use the drop down instead of everyone, the Zoom master, who is Lily today. And Ami, you did a brilliant job of explaining.
Recapping.
Who did the table topics? Okay, ballot counter is our Zoom master. And I am assuming that our 1 minute is almost over. And so as soon as I get a sign from Marina, I will continue with our program.
One minute is over.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rina, our today's timekeeper. This has been for me quite an ephemeral meeting because not having any speakers is a very strange experience for me. I can't recall when that has happened in a Toastmaster meeting. Again, we have some people that are just starting out and are not even enrolled with Pathways yet. But if you want to sort of take that bold step, give that icebreaker, give a speech, please do, because I think it makes for a richer meeting. I'd like to remind our grammarian that you should also be choosing the grammarian's crown for the word or expression which impressed you the most. Other than that, it's my great pleasure to give the next section to our general evaluator for today's meeting. That happens to be Toastmaster Silla. Toastmaster Silla, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Maria Teresa. And yes, I definitely also truly enjoy very much the table topic session. Before I give an overall impression of how we conducted the meeting today, just also want to give the floor to different, Toastmasters to give a bit of the report to let us know how we stand in different aspects. So first, I would actually want to give the floor to Rina to tell us how the different table topic speakers, in terms of the time management, how did they do?
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and everyone. Hello, everyone. It was actually, the timing was okay. Toastmaster Gabriela talked about her name, 1 minute 32 seconds. Benjamin about food, 1 minute 18 seconds. Adot about singing, 1 minute 33 seconds. Ria about her business dream, 1 minute 10 seconds. Adriana about technology, 1 minute 26 seconds, and Toastmaster Brigitte about her dreams, 1 minute 29 seconds. And the seventh person, Siavo Sen, supernatural creator, 1 minute 20 seconds. This ends my report.
Thanks a lot, Rina. And before handing out the floor to Julia to talk about the grammar aspects, just also brief recap about how we do in terms of ahs and ums. Monica, please.
Yes, this is my report. Actually, I started counting only as we started with a table topic session. I didn't count before. So Gabriela had 2, Benjamin had 2, Adot had 1, Ria had 2, Brigitte had 5, Maria Teresa had 3. Sila, I counted 4 for you now in the last part. Rina 3. And Alma, I have to say that I stopped at some point because I counted 50. You had many, you probably know that. So that ends my report. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Monica. I think, you know, the ahs and ums are proportional to the time that we speak. I guess that's like
true.
next time maybe we can calculate the percentage. That might be.
I did that at Blue Danube Leaders at one point, but then I don't know, people didn't adopt it.
It's challenging, like so. But yeah, thanks a lot for the report.
I think I should just prepay like €10 per month. So for the instead of 1 cent.
Yeah, I think Brigitte would welcome that idea for the financial standing of the club. This is an excellent idea. But I might also be contributing a lot, so you would not be alone.
The same goes for me, actually.
Okay, so and then now I give the floor to Julia to give, you know, a bit of the overview in terms of the use of grammar. Did we use the word of the day? Who would get the crown? Julia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sila. It was very interesting because question lead us to answers related to different terminology. So we covered terminology in terms of culinary terminology with Benjamin. We went to ceremony terminology with Adot, with business terminology with Ria, and like Andriana covered terminology related to technology and Bridget to traveling. So it was quite interesting to see how different terminology been used. In some speeches, I found very interesting like phrases. For example, Adot told uplifting message. It's quite interesting in terms of usage of this message. And Adriana told old school piece of technology. Also, I like Bridget. She told actually directly it's to travel, but I have to travel often to reach my goal. It can be used in different senses. And Xiao told flying around to make people happier. This is kind of also interesting expression. Unfortunately, only one person from the answers used ephemeral. It was Adriana. And also, I would give her the crown because maybe she's one of the most professional in use of different vocabularies. In terms of like people using different, not a finished sentence, it was a little only one sentence I catch with Brigitte. She didn't finish one sentence. And for example, some people very use a lot of repetition, like Gabriela was always using like my name, and what else? Adriana also used quite often a kind of, what can be replaced without just kind of. But I'm not a native speaker English, so I cannot go through very detailed observation, but it was very nice to see such nourished vocabulary. And I would like also to thank Maria Teresa, who inspired me to go to this role. So I didn't feel myself like ephemeral river, and I was able to nourish my experience and continue my flow in Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julia. Definitely also as a non-native speaker, I can completely understand the grammarian role. It sounds can be, you know, can sound intimidating. You know, what are we supposed to tell the native speaker how to improve? Like, but you know, this is what Toastmaster is all about, just to do something that we have never done, and then, you know, we learn in a very safe environment. So I would just really want to give a brief, you know, impression of how I see the meeting has been conducted, and maybe also offer a few suggestions to see how we can improve it. We started a few minutes late, but I don't see that as too much of an issue, because we want to make sure that all those who have been assigned roles are there in order to ensure a smooth running of the meeting. And I really wanted to say thank you to Maria Teresa, basically, for taking up, you know, the role of the Toastmaster of the day, to make sure that we have everything, you know, in order. Would also like to encourage everyone to take up roles that you have never done it before, like a number of us, we have done it today, because we can see definitely very interesting meeting theme. Even though there was no specific mention of the theme, I would say Elma's questions are all very, very creative and all help us to get to know each other better. So, you know, you can even say that this is the theme of getting to know you, or, you know, have to have a common theme. But apart from the theme, I can see you have definitely done very, very well in terms of holding the table topic yourself. You talk about the benefits of being a table topic master, you know, to pin the timer, make sure that we can all see the timer. I almost felt like, you know, this is like a contest. You're running it like, you know, in the contest setting, to make sure that, you know, we see the time. And this, it is really important in a contest setting, because even if it is 1 second over time, you completely like would be disqualified. So I think that's very good that you know, emphasize this point in the meeting. And you particularly also give the opportunity for those who don't have a roles to speak up. You done an excellent job in terms of the bridging from one speaker to the next. You bridge, you connect with them. And I think this is also what we learned from Maria Teresa when she introduced you as well. There is a very much a strong element of the personal touch. And as we, you know, have more meetings together, we get to know each other better. That also help us to do this easier. And one thing that I myself, I'm not so sure, but this is just a thought for you to consider, is whether you want to mute yourself or not when the table topic speaker is speaking, because I really like the interaction that you have with them. It sort of makes it a bit more interactive. But I don't know, for some speakers, they might find it a bit also like they would be caught a bit by surprise because they are having their own train of thought. So, but I must say that I really enjoy the interaction. You make it a lot more interesting. And I think on an online setting, what's interesting is also the setting we see on the screen, but also the chat. So some people are, you know, sort of like talking, others are typing, and, you know, and we are all looking at a different direction. But this is also the opportunity that is provided by the online environment, where some of us, we might not feel comfortable to interact, you know, on the spot, but the chat function is always there to let us, you know, to get the message across. And one thing that I must say that I wanted to take up the suggestion from Xiao, which she actually mentioned it in the chat, where we can rename our name and the role that we have taken. So, you know, you give your name and also which role you are taking during the meeting. One last point, actually, I wanted to echo what Maria Teresa was saying, that in terms of the prepared speech, and the first prepared speech for all different pathways is basically the icebreaker. So it doesn't matter which pathways you wanted to go, it's all just, you know, tell us a little bit more about yourself, which is actually just an extended version of what you all have just done during the table topic. I mean, so, you know, just now it was 2 minutes, maybe, you know, you give a bit longer, tell us a little bit more about yourself, just less than 5 minutes. I mean, that, you know, and so definitely I would encourage or, who are struggling to get started with the pathways, maybe just jump into the ice breaking, just tell us a little bit more about yourself first, and then you can decide which pathways you are going to take, because it's all the same. The first speech is all the same. And if I might also, I was attending an other meeting with the Vienna Speakers Club. It happened there, and I think it might help for us to get the roles for the next meeting is like at the end of one meeting. Basically, they are asking people to take up the role for the next meeting already. So in case you know by now that you would already be able to join us for next meeting, which is in-person meeting in 2 weeks in BIC, then you maybe, you might as well just sign up yourself for any particular roles, because you know that, most probably you would join. And that would also help Maria Teresa, the VPE, to get the meeting organized. And so here it goes, a very brief but hopefully useful report of evaluation for the meeting. So back to you,
Sila.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Ria. I would like to sign up for the speech for the icebreaker for the next meeting.
Yay, super. So next time we got one prepared speech. Yay,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay.
I will sign up.
Adot, no?
I can take the other speech if anyone is jumping in. I'd be happy to give a
Wow,
speech
oh my
in
God.
person.
So now we have to compete for the slot for the prepared speech, huh? If people wants to do it, it has to be a reserved speaker now. So yes, those two are already taken. Very good. Thank you so much. And I don't know who should I give the floor back to?
Moi.
Okay, yeah, Maria Teresa, back to you, Toastmaster of the
So
day.
thank you, Toastmaster Silla. I thought it was a very detailed, but not overly critical impression of the meeting. Just a comment to Julia, native speakers are quite capable of making mistakes. So never feel you have to apologize as a non-native speaker being a grammarian. Didn't you see the way I stumbled over trying to say recapitulate? Stutter, stutter, stutter. In any event, Silla, I welcome your comments about people signing up on Easy Speak, not just for the prepared speeches, but to be Toastmaster of the day, to lead the table topic session, to be a general evaluator. I think it would make for a more effective meeting. I welcome those comments. I have to make a comment. I didn't applaud after everybody who had a part in this meeting. You all are quite worthy of applause. And I must confess, the technology somehow brings a different element for me into a Zoom meeting. Zhao, I appreciated your comments about what we could be doing better, and we will be doing better. The next meeting is on the 9th of August. Ria, I have already scheduled your speech. And Benjamin, as soon as you send me a request, it will be put on paper, on the agenda of Easy Speak. And with that, I conclude today's successful premieres. Congratulations, everybody. And I return control to the presiding. Oh, no, I have to say something. I must say something. Perhaps you haven't realized, but we had somebody who appeared rather late, but better later than never. It was previously a very prominent member of our club, Toastmaster Muriel. I would ordinarily ask somebody in this instance, what do you see the club doing now that's better than what we did before? But since you didn't hear us, I can't ask that. So I ask, Muriel, how has your Toastmaster experience helped you in your career?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Maria Teresa. I'm really sorry I couldn't come earlier. And I missed definitely a very interesting meeting. I must say that it helped me greatly to become a Toastmaster. I was very shy talking to people when there are more than, let's say, 8 people. I became red, I stumbled, I didn't feel at ease at all. And by becoming a Toastmaster, I gained confidence, and I was also able to speak without other things like this. So I learned how to speak better and more clearly. and takes the time to look for my words before speaking. So because I was less nervous, and I'm really very grateful to have had this opportunity and to have been with all of you, and I miss it. Thank you very much, Maria Teresa, for giving me the floor.
Thank you, Muriel. And I consider you Toastmaster, Muriel. Once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. How long do you plan to be in Vienna?
Not very long this time, but when I come back next time, I could, of course, join anyway. As you are having Zoom meetings, I could also join, if possible, just from wherever I am at that moment, but I do not know if this is possible or not.
Well, it would be a pleasure anytime you could make it. You would be very welcome to come. I remember you well. Of course, for the rest of you, the name Muriel doesn't mean anything. To me, it means quite a lot. So I have been gently reminded, and not so gently reminded, that we need to announce the table topics winner. So it is my great pleasure to ask today's Zoom master to let us know who won the table topics.
Drum roll, and the table topics master is, so I still can't see myself on the screen. So anyhow, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Good, because I'm trying to get my pin. Okay, I didn't pin myself. Let me pin myself. Spotlight for everyone. Here I am. Good. It was such a close run. Nearly everybody got 1 or 2 votes, and some even got 3. And the winner is the one who had the most votes, our area director. So congratulations.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. It's quite surprising. I found all of your table topic speakers quite amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice.
Okay, so I think it's time to sort of put an end to, not put an end, I think it's time to conclude the meeting. But at this stage, I think it's appropriate to return control to the presiding officer, who will ask the guests for their impression of the meeting.
Thanks a lot, Maria Teresa. And I think Xiao, just now, congratulations on winning, the table topic session. And I think you also gave us a little bit, of your impression of the meeting. If there is anything that you want to add to, how you see our meeting, something more that you want to share with us, how we can run it better.
Oh, I think every club has their own style, and I really enjoyed the positive atmosphere. I really like the fact that you have it in 1 hour, so it fits into my lunch break. It's very convenient to join. My club has, I don't know, we usually have more content, so we always do table topics and 3 speeches and everything, so it takes up the whole evening. Pros and cons, and I think mixing it up is the name of the game. That said, you guys are a really international bunch, which is to be expected, but I don't know, being here still kind of, makes me feel really cool. Yeah, I don't know if there's a possibility to also join you in person sometime. I would love to.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, one thing I needed to announce. So my home club, Vienna Toastmasters 551, we're having a social get together Thursday evening at starting from 6 p.m. in the 2nd district at a rooftop terrace overlooking the Prater. And any of you who has time and is around is welcome to join, just to mingle and have a drink, have some bar bites. I'll post, I'll also send Scylla. I think Scylla, you already have details, right?
I sent it to the club. We have a WhatsApp group, but I just need to make sure if the list is updated. So whoever that, that are not in the WhatsApp group and you want to be part of it, you can send me your numbers and, and we'll update the list and we'll take it from there. But thanks, Lily. She also gave me all the information that I just need to update the list of all the telephone number to make sure we are sending the info to the right person. But thanks also for being so active. I mean, I feel a bit like, there has been so many activities going on, sometimes a bit lost track.
You need to send it by email as well, because not everybody's on WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it because there is a flyer actually for that Xiao has set out for the rooftop cocktail. So yeah, which is this Thursday at 6 in the 2nd district.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and feel free to join later as well. Some people are joining as late as 8.
Oh, yeah. And also, I would like to give the floor also to Arun, possibly also just to, you know, tell us a little bit more, how do you find the meeting, you know, after being away for some time, you know, tell us a bit more, how do you find our meeting, and if there is anything we can do better?
The meeting, as always, is very nice, and today it was particularly very interesting, all the questions, and whenever a question was asked, my mind just started running how I would answer it. So it's very interesting, because on the spot, when you're given a question, it's sometimes difficult, but you start to analyze the answers of others, and you get the time to see how you would respond in such a situation. It has been wonderful so far. And obviously next time I would like to be I would like to participate as well, and it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and definitely we look forward to seeing you in person next time. And
Yes.
Xiao also, I mean, we can definitely arrange you coming in, you know, for our in-person meeting, in case that's what you want. For Gabriella, it might be a little bit more difficult, but you know, we hope to see you continuously, like for our online meetings. So yeah, and with that, I hope that I didn't miss anything. Did I, Maria Teresa? I must say that I also really want to thank Lily for taking up, you know, multiple roles, being the Zoom master, the ballot counter, making sure that we are, you know, running it, you know, organized manner. So yeah, that's that too. Thank you so much, Lily.
While we're at it, let me just put in a plug for Easy Speak, because on the district and area and division level, the people have not entered their information. So the wonderful function that we have in Easy Speak of being able to message the whole area, the whole district, or the whole division can't be fulfilled when people don't put their names in there. So I am meeting tomorrow with David Corcoran, who I hope will manage to give me the access that I need, but I will still need the names of all of those people. I wrote down that Danya is the area director of F1 and Zhao area director of F2, but I need all the contact information. And
so can I just say something about that?
Yeah.
So I had a chat with our district director like 2 weeks ago, and I would say it's always depends a little bit on the leadership, right? How digitally versed you are.
Mm-hmm.
And Turan is definitely someone who has the skills and has the vision. I think he has a lot of catch-up work to do. He is looking for someone to assist him in setting up Easy Speak properly for the district. Because right now, if you look at the district page on Easy Speak, it has only the old district director from 2 years ago, Lorenzo, and it has not been updated. It doesn't have all the new countries that came into our district last year. And so it goes, you know, like all the levels below. Also, if there's no leadership in place that has a focus on this and actually pushes it, because it's not an official system, right? Like it's optional to use when it's useful for the clubs, then it becomes very difficult to actually propagate this. But I think it starts with every single club, and the more people use Easy Speak, the more people support Easy Speak. We can also make a financial contribution, by the way, to help them develop it, because it's all volunteer run. The more we can get the system to be actually useful for everyone.
Which club are you involved? Oh, sorry, you mentioned it, but I didn't write it down.
Vienna Toastmasters 551.
Okay.
551.
Okay.
By the way, I'd just like to make some comments. So for some of you who are new to our club or new to Toastmasters, I'm sure you're a little bit confused about some of the things that are being discussed here. But what you should know that Toastmasters is not just our VIC club. We belong to an area which belongs to a division, which belongs to a district. So there's a hierarchy where the club, Toastmasters is an international organization. So if we're talking sort of business, Toastmaster business, don't feel lost. The longer in your club, the more you will understand what maybe is cryptic to some of you.
join our
May I
social. I'll be happy to talk about it more.
Yeah, may I ask our Zoom master, are you available for about 5 minutes that we could get the committee together to discuss when we're meeting next? Is that possible?
I've actually got another meeting at 1:30, but yeah, okay, let's do that straight away and really keep it to 5 minutes.
Need to
yeah.
jump off. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, see
Bye.
you all on the 9th of August, if not sooner.
Thank you. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you to everybody. Nice afternoon.
Thank you for
Thank
coming,
you, everyone.
everybody. Muriel, goodbye.